is it important for an actor and a performer to have lots of social media followers, right? That is the million dollar question. So, a lot of new performers come to me, especially actors. They say, "Oh, I need to build my social. I need to get a lot of people following my social media account." And so, I want to kind of break down this myth today. And well, not myth, but like this idea and how to properly look at social media for an actor and also for a musician, singer, dancer. Because I think it's different. I'll go with the musicians first. Let's talk about musicians. As a musician, if you're doing instrumentalist, building a social is important because in today's game, you really do need to, if you want to be a solo instrumentalist, you kind of have to build your own fan base. Like, there isn't a lot of room out there for a solo artist to just kind of find an audience out in the world without doing it through social media. Venues are not going to book especially if you're in classical music and stuff. There's even more reason to try to build a following, your own community of people who wants to listen to what you're doing. Um, and it's kind of similar with dancers. Dancers are always looking for their own following. You kind of have to do that in order to get people to want to take classes with you. If you're a choreographer, want to have you choreograph something for them. So having some sort of an audience will definitely help you. It won't hurt your career for sure. So I would definitely get your start building that as quickly as possible. Now, with singers, I think that's also true too. You have to find your niche, find your audience, but there's so many people out there doing that today. And so I see singers, trying to do all sorts of, chasing viral stuff too, to create their followers. And in those categories, whether you're a singer, musician, dancer, I think it's important for you to build as big of a social following as you can, but do, be mindful of not crossing too far into the influencer world, just constantly chasing trend, because you do want to make sure your social media is filled with things that are on brand with you, what you want, to be hired as. The occasional little skit that you do, I think those are fine. The occasional TikTok trend that you chase, I think that's great. But just don't plaster that on your social media as your only thing, as the main thing, and that's all you do. Because pretty soon you're going to find yourself, that's the world you're going to end up residing in only, and your own, you're going to become more of an influencer rather than a musician. So be mindful of that. But I think overall, though, if you have a following, and as long as your following loves your performance and loves your artwork, I think that's fine, and it's a good thing to do. It's a good thing to build an audience, because then, investors, people who with money will be more willing to invest in you if they are putting money into the next project, because they know there's a higher opportunity chance of them making it back. Now, however, when it comes to an actor, that is a very tricky place to be. Yes, overall, obviously, the bigger your audience is, the better it is for you. However, the type of audience you build truly does matter as an actor. Now, producers and investors always want numbers, right? Very often I've heard so many stories about producers wanting to having a social media quota, that between all the actors, there must be this many social media followers between all of their accounts. Because they want to make sure there's some marketing built in, and social marketing is definitely a part of most projects plan. However, as an actor though, if you only chase the number by any means possible, like you're following every TikTok trend and you're trying to create all these viral videos and you're doing all these silly skits and stuff, it could actually backfire on you, because directors don't necessarily want to work with that. Directors will look at social media accounts because they want to get a sense of the actors they're hiring, the people they're working with, what they're like, what their personality is. But if they look at your social and they look at your, Instagram and your TikTok, and all they see is these trendy videos and you putting on a face and doing these, cutesy little dance and stuff, they're gonna wonder, like, am I gonna get a real performance out of them? Because directors are looking for real, looking for ways to connect with the audience in an authentic way. And influencers, generally speaking, I mean, I don't want to diss any of the influencers out there, but that is literally what influencers do. They put on a persona. It is a character that they play. And usually you play one character, right? That's your whole channel. You play that one character, and it's not most often it's not an authentic you either. It's just a caricature or persona that you put on, that the world, it went viral one time, so you double down, triple down on it to gain that audience. But directors don't want to see that. Directors don't want to, work with actors like that. They're going to look at it and go like, I don't know about this person. I mean, yeah, they have like 10 million followers, but their social media, I don't see anything, like the personality's not working with me in this character. Even though the addition's great, but the rest of it isn't. So there's a disconnect here. So be mindful of that. They want to see a person. They want to see the real you, your personality. So I would be very hesitant towards doing too many viral videos as an actor, but making sure that your authentic personality comes through in all of your videos and that you're not chasing influencer trends. Check out celebrities, Instagram and TikTok. Most of them are not chasing viral trends because they know they're already a celebrity. They know people want to follow them and get to know who they are and want to know what the next project is, not watch them do a little silly videos. The occasional one's fine, but that's not why they are there. That's not what their fans are looking for all the time. So I would say if you really want to build an acting following, you got to be very mindful. Make sure you showcase who you are and that your audience loves you, not a character that you play on social media. That is my 2 cents on what an actor should do with their following. I know it's a very tricky place to be, and then you're probably asking like, so what do I do? I know that's $1 million question. There is no one way for you to do it. You have to just find your version of how to showcase the authentic you, your true personality, the wide ranges of stuff that you can do, and then show that to the world and let directors see that, and then they'll work with you, because we know directors love to pluck people out of obscurity. They want to go to some real place in the world and then find someone that nobody's ever seen and put them on the screen. Help them fulfill that dream, to find you and who you are, the real you, and then show them to the world. Give them an opportunity to do that. All right, until next time, please, like and subscribe to my channel, and I will share with you a lot more of my thoughts. And of course, if you have more questions about what it takes to become an actor, whether it's about this or anything else, please leave that in comment. Or if you don't agree with anything that I said today, please share, because I would love to hear from you. It's a discussion. I don't know everything there is about acting. I'm always here to learn, and I would love to hear your thoughts too. All right, until next time.